Grenada is on the road to 50, but this year we celebrate 49. Under the patronage of the Consular Office of Grenada in New York, the Grenada Independence Anniversary Committee New York invites you to celebrate Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence, January 27th to February 4th.
Happy birthday, my dear Grenada.
Our theme this year is the journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning the future. We shall be graced with the presence of Grenada's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export, Honorable Joseph Andel, Minister of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Honorable Andy Williams, and Member of Parliament of Her Majesty's Opposition, Honorable Delma Thomas. The calendar of events rolls off on Friday, January 27th with a cultural evening from 7 p.m. at Our Lady of Refuge Hall in Brooklyn. Then Saturday, January 28th is the Independence Youth Fest from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. again at Our Lady of Refuge Hall in Brooklyn. The ecumenical service is on Sunday, January 29th from 4 p.m. at St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church on Hawthorne Street. The 49th anniversary of Independence Gala, Dinner, Dance and Awards will come off on Saturday, February 4th from 9 p.m. at the Anthems in Queens. It's all about Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence. The journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning the future.
Yeah. What's up? Welcome to the ride. Well, right along live for today. It's Monday. Beautiful Monday. And as you can see, guys, I am very early today. For that alone, I should get some stars. For that alone, I should get some love. Very early today, guys. We're at least, 10 minutes early today, guys. So everybody share the program right now while others still getting prepared. We, boom, showed up right before. Because we have a very interesting program lined up for you guys. For those of you who have been following this past weeks of occurrences politically, because, we span the whole Caribbean. We check what's happening in St. Vincent. We check what's happening in Antigua. We check what's happening in Grenada. So for those of you who have been paying attention to what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have the man himself, MP. He is MP St.Clair Leacock. Yeah. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. So everybody share the program right now. Very interesting. Everybody share the program right now. Invite your friends. Invite everybody because we don't have the whole hour with the MP. So that's kind of the reason why we started kind of early too, because we don't have the whole hour. So we're trying to get as much in as possible for the time that we have. Okay, Sandra. Nice. Hey, Alma, are you telling me shut up? Are you Honorable member, are you disrespecting me? I know you don't mean it, Alma. I know you don't mean it. I know you don't mean it when you said shut up. You're forgiven. Everybody share the program, guys. Share the program really quick. Share the program really quick. I want to start because I am anxious to hear from the MP. I'm anxious to hear about what happened. A lot of stuff I was told was taken out of context. In fact, I even went the mile. And I did my version of it. Had a lot of fun doing it too. So I want to understand. I want to take it out of context. All right, Sherry, we don't want to take it out of context. Lydia, how you doing? All right, guys. Let the others come in. Should we start and let the others just come in after? Yeah, I think so. For all the latecomers. Hey, Dia and Joseph, how are you doing? Guys, all right. So we go start because, again, we don't have the whole hour with the MP. So let's bring him on right now. I am happy to bring on... I played him on television. MP St.Clair Leacock. How you doing? How you doing, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing well. And in St. Vincent,
well.
most people refer to me as the Major. So that's the brand, and that's what we'll stick with for the rest of the night. We'll drop the formalities. The Major.
Oh, okay. The Major. So how are you, the Major?
Yes.
How everything? How is St. Vincent right now, by the way?
St. Vincent, like any other Caribbean country, facing the challenges of the times, but back on our coping mechanisms, and we're going forward.
Nice. I visited St. Vincent 2 years ago in the middle of COVID. I was there. It was right after the volcano.
Mm-hmm.
We came down there. Yeah, we came down there and we did some fundraisers and stuff like that. So I had a great time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Always nice, very friendly. Remind me a lot of Grenada. There's no difference. It's the same, everything same. As far
Absolutely.
As I see. Yes.
Same street, same mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the Major, we're gonna go straight into it, right? Because again, we don't have a lot of time with you, right? So late last week, this video was sent to me, and this video been circulating all over social media. I'm gonna play it back, and then we're gonna talk about it and try to put everything into context and try to understand what's happening here. For those of you who didn't see, take a look at this.
Asking you for your assistance. Something wrong with you,
No, but no, just a minute. Yeah.
Something really wrong with you.
May I rise?
In the most gentle
Why don't you
way.
shut up and stop insulting people? Shut up and stop insulting
Ralph,
people.
shut up.
No.
Up, Ralph.
Honorable members.
You're just being ignorant and stupid.
I am on my
Ralph,
feet.
nobody can be more stupid than you.
Honorable members.
Talk to him.
Honorable members, please take your seats.
Sorry, you wasn't hearing me. My mic was muted. So we saw this again. This was circulating all over social media. Bring this into context for us. What brought on this type of fight in Parliament? Contextualize it for us.
You want to get the context?
Yes, help us understand the context of what's happening here.
Well, basically, we were in debating the budget, and the Minister of Health was making a presentation of his portfolio.
Right.
And specifically, he was addressing the question that we were bringing on streaming instruments a number of new diagnostic services. And I am showing politely whether to the extent
hold on one second, Major. Major, hold on one second. Major, if you could hear me.
the Grenadines.
Major, if you could hear me, just hold on 1 second.
Very
Your
well.
audio is breaking up. Your audio is breaking up pretty bad. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have
I'm
to
hearing
bring
you.
you in on audio.
Yeah, the net.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
your
the net
audio
is-
your audio is breaking up.
Okay.
Your audio is breaking up. Your audio is breaking up. So let me connect with you. Let me connect with you on WhatsApp.
That's
so
always
we
the
could pull
trouble.
you in on WhatsApp. Yeah, so hang up with here and then I'll call you on WhatsApp right now.
Hold on.
Yeah, guys, we want to hang up on here and I'll get
You
you on
want me to hang
WhatsApp because so we're having a bit of a audio problem. I want you guys to hear the Major on what transpired here. So let me make that call and make that connection right now. Stand by, guys. All right, we're making that connection right now. Yeah, WhatsApp is always reliable.
Right.
All right. So you're back with us. Sorry about that. We was having some audio problem.
Great.
Okay, I'm now hearing myself echoing. So if you could take me off a speaker. Right. All right. Are you hearing? Yeah, you hear me now?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, good, perfect. So help us understand the context again. Start over again. What really happened here? What's happening here?
Well, essentially, I was saying that the Minister of Health, St.Clair Leacock, my namesake on the other side,
Right.
was making his presentation of his portfolio.
Right.
And he was indicating that the government had put in place a number of diagnostic services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so that many Vincents no longer had to go abroad to receive those services. And I went through the Speaker of the House on Section 34A, where you can seek for clarification or elucidation, and I asked politely of him whether to the extent the government was subsidizing patients who attended the government facility in Georgetown, whether consideration could be given to the fact that there was another private sector facility in Kingstown where patients were using the same services.
Right.
And they too could receive the same services and subsidies as the peers were in the other part of the country. That fundamentally was the question, because the significance there is that when the volcano erupted, and that facility in Georgetown had to be closed because of the volcano.
Right.
It was the private sector facility in Kingstown that assisted them with all of those diagnostic services. And so I thought we should be on a level playing field. The minister was quite prepared to answer, because he sat and took my question, which is the second limb of the contribution, because first I had to have the nod of the speaker, and secondly, the person who was on the floor had to give way.
Right.
And at the time he was preparing now to respond to me, the Prime Minister, I don't think they might pick that up, objected in the most furious and, in my mind, vulgar ways to the minister accommodating me. And that's why you hear on the microphone the response from me.
Right.
That something's wrong with you. What's really wrong with you?
The minister of health, the minister of health accommodated you, and of course the speaker allowed it. You stood up and you were making your contribution.
That's right.
Right. Because what we don't have, and I wanted to get a copy of that probably 5 minutes before. I didn't get a copy of that. So it's good that you give us a synopsis as to what's happened. So basically, the Minister of Health making his contribution and give way for you to make your contribution towards it. You made some certain objections. And then that's where the Prime Minister objected to some of the objections that he was making.
He objected to the minister receiving my request for elucidation or clarification.
Right.
And as you would hear in his charge, he felt that was unnecessary interference. And he even elevated the point of suggestion that I wanted to bully his minister. Now, anyone who listens to the way I spoke to the minister, with whom I have good, respectful, and cordial relationship, would recognize easily that there was no bullying. And all we were doing was taking advantage of a limb of the House rules, which says a member can stand and ask for elucidation or clarification on the matter That's before the House.
Right. Right. I guess when we look at it, and that part of the context we didn't quite understand, right? I've seen
Yeah, I thought you missed that. That definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen videos before in Parliament where you and the Prime Minister had some sort of verbal spat again. It was I don't know how long that happened, but is that a regular thing? Does that happen frequently in the House with you and the Honorable Prime Minister? Is that
No,
a personal?
I was saying frequently, but but persistently, we've been having these spats as you identify them over the last 22 years or so since I entered the Parliament. For whatever reason, the Prime Minister sees me as one who can oppose him very strongly, and is always trying to shut me down. Ironically, right now, when I was less experienced and entered the Parliament, I called the Prime Minister a bully. And the Speaker then, Hendrik Alexander, had me withdraw that statement.
Right.
20-something years later, the Prime Minister is alleging that I want to be a bully. And there's a different judgment.
A lot of people have always spoke about the way how the House is currently being run, and some even object to some of the Speaker, not the utterances, but the allowance, the thing that she allowed to go through. Is the Speaker in the House, in your perspective, has she been biased, or is it that the opposition is being treated differently?
I wouldn't want to make the allegation, although I'm aware that many people make the allegation that the Speaker is biased.
Right.
But the context for you to understand is that the Prime Minister places the Speakers of the House in a very invidious position. And you would have to go back and understand the history. 20 years ago, the first thing he did was to elevate the position of the Speaker from being a part-time job to be a full-time job, to receive the salary of a Minister of Government. That had the effect of making speakers feeling that they were beholden onto the administration. So that was the first Speaker. The second Speaker, and if you want to appreciate the extent to what the case is, when our New Democratic Party brought a vote of no confidence against the government, the Prime Minister debated and went up, down, left, right, and center with that Speaker of the House, to the point that they came to the conclusion that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you cannot bring a vote of no confidence against the government. Now, if that's in fact the case, we are the only Commonwealth jurisdiction in which the Constitution is so interpreted that you cannot bring a vote of no confidence against the government. This current Speaker has been making efforts to appear to be neutral in the House. It's a difficult task against the Prime Minister. What in essence you have is that a House that behaves itself in one way when he is absent and another way when he's present.
Right.
And so while I hesitate, and people would have preferred me to say that she's biased, and there's evidence in which she has not been even-handed, these speakers come under the hammer of the Prime Minister, who is accustomed to have it. I think that's the fair way to represent the case.
Right. There have been some reports that said that even your family has been somehow targeted, have been a target by the administration. Is there any truth to the fact that you or your family members are somehow being targeted by the administration?
Well, I will let the facts speak for themselves. I was a manager of human resources at the power company, referred to as VINLEC, 23 years ago, there about 22 years. I was unceremoniously dismissed from my job in 2 hours and paid to leave the premises. My wife subsequently was principal, the first female person to be head of a boys' school, was removed from her job as principal of that school and taken to the Ministry of Education to a desk job up to her retirement. She could have got opportunities elsewhere with international agencies. That was prevented. My children were all qualified, including my daughter, who has a master's degree, never even had a response to application to join the public service. So in essence, all my children have left St. Vincent and Grenadines and have made it better for themselves abroad. I actually have a son who is a major in the Marine Corps in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And so two of my 8 grandchildren, they're all Americans. They don't live here, they don't work here. All of my businesses that I held were taken away from me, from the government, that I held with government services. And I have not been able to receive a single contract in 23 years. Whereas all of the companies that contest for those jobs are break off from my company. So the prejudice and the biases are there, but I don't make them influence my political work in the House.
Right. So it is a level of as far as where the administration is unfairly treating you and the way how your family could operate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's what a question that someone just messaged me here, and it's interesting.
Well, all of St. Vincent knows that.
Sorry?
All of St. Vincent knows that. That's public knowledge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Someone just pointed out here, and it's an interesting question. After all this back and forth, right? Because you are elected, the prime minister is elected to serve the people in the House. With all this back and forth, who end up being the bigger person? Who says, stop? We're not here for the personal tit for tat. We are here to represent the people. It's not about personalities. It's about representation. Who stop and after and be the bigger person? Because it shouldn't be anything personal. It shouldn't be about if Ralph hates you or you can't get along with him. Who actually has stopped it and say, let's be the bigger person in this?
I'm prepared to be that person. In fact, when I go to the parliament on the next occasion, I will address the Speaker of the House in that regard.
Right.
And offer her personal apology. Not that I am wrong, but somebody has to be grown.
Yes.
And to give her an indication that I will lift my political game to an even higher level and demonstrate that I can withstand the worst of political abuses in the parliament. Because this is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a proud moment for me, knowing of my disciplined background and how I got here. You see, you have to understand why I present the government with problem. I am in the representative of Central Kingston. That's the heart of the nation.
Yes.
But when I came to the parliament, I came in as an opposition member.
Right, yes.
That the government had been wiped out. And I have successfully won my seat on 3 successive occasions and grown my support against seemingly the most powerful government in the world. So that is not to be sneezed at. Because it invites the question for the government, how does he do that? How does he achieve it?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Obviously, you have been, we've been speaking to a number of people in your constituency, very highly supported by your constituents. And people have been rooting for you. We've been getting a lot of messages, and people are saying that you are, Major is the type that don't back down, and they urge you to don't back down and keep the voice of the constituency. There was another occurrence that I wanted to play back. We'll speak about in this particular context here. And I don't know if this happened before or it happened after. We're going to play it back. You're going to help us understand the context of it. Check this piece
So
out.
I don't think you have to play it back. I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, just for the sake of the viewers, just a little portion of it. Stand by.
Okay, very well.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What that statement reveals is that the government finds themselves in a veritable bind. They find themselves, Madam Speaker, between the devil and talk about the devil, his imps appear. I think that's how the expression goes. Madam Speaker,
I raise on a point of order. In fact, I'm asking my honorable friend to withdraw the remark that I'm a devil. He knows that what he has done there is he has crossed the line. He said, the devil has just arrived. I'm the one who has just arrived. Come on.
never said that.
So the Prime Minister here accusing you of calling him a devil. Help us put that into context. Did that happen before the first
Well,
piece?
let me give you quickly what it is. When I made the statement that the government between the devil and I was going on to see the deep blue sea,
Right.
I was drawing to the attention of the Parliament in my economic presentation that here's a government that is short of revenue on the recurrent side of the budget, and is also short of revenue on the capital side of the program, so that they are in essence in a deficit position. They can't pay their recurrent expenditure and they can't meet the capital programs. That's so. And if you find a government in that regard, the obvious thing is that a government would want to raise monies to close the deficit gaps. That's logical. But what obtains is that the government is forced to A, offer a pricing an increase in wages, much deserved for public servants. So that makes the deficit even more difficult. And at the same time, they have proposed that they will raise no taxes. So when the government is in a deficit and they cannot assist yourself out of a deficit position, I was equating that to be between the devil and. So when I got to the and, he walked into the Parliament. He was not in the Parliament when I was making my presentation. He timed himself to come to the Parliament, I believe, to interrupt my contribution. So as he's on the floor, walked into his seat, he finishes the statement by saying, the deep blue sea. That's when I take the enjoying out of saying, speak about the devil, and remember the context of the devil.
Yeah.
It's the economic difficulty the government finds itself in. It's not referencing him. And the imps appear. That's a Caribbean expression, maybe it's an international expression.
So instead of saying the deep
So
blue
at no
sea,
point
instead of you saying the deep blue sea, he came in and he finished it. So he came into the conversation.
He joined my conversation. Imagine that I wasn't even allowed to finish the expression.
Yeah.
He finished it for me.
Yes.
So I said, now, speaking about the devil, and I was speaking about the devil in the context of the government is in an economic bind, his imps appear. And that's an expression we're saying that if I'm speaking to somebody in the shop, say, here they come, Or sometimes we say, I don't know if it's certain Grenada. You see, I ain't telling no lie. Because you're discussing a person and they make an appearance.
Right.
I'm sure you have some equivalent experience with that. So he gets up now to force me into an apology for calling him the devil. Now, it is instructive if you go back, and this is in the evening session, This is about 4 hours after the earlier spat, which we had in the morning.
Oh.
On the shut up issue. So this is a second occasion. In the same day.
What about no, go ahead, finish your thought.
No, but you need there's something we need to understand to pay attention here. The Speaker of the House on neither of the two charges voted against me to apologize. Not on the shut up, nor on the devil issue. More than that, the Speaker said there's something very wrong going on here.
Yes.
And that what's going wrong is that we are being unfair to the honorable member for Central Kingston. That's in the recordings. The Speaker, who is normally reserved in criticizing or speaking to Prime Minister, said that to him and to the House. We are being unfair to the member for Central Kingston. I'm sure you have that in the recording.
Yes.
And that's as far as she could have gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess with all of this back and forth, right? People in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are asking, what about the topical issues? What about the things that are needed right now for Central Kingston and all the other areas in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Has that been overlooked because there's this back and forth tit for tat? What are some of the major things that's affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now? How is that being dealt with?
Well, it's in fact, you're right, and I'm glad you present that, because there are very many Vincentians who appreciate my presentation on the budget.
Right.
It's the view of many people that I'm one of the foremost presenters on matters economics and financial service in the Grenadines, and people go out of the way to hear my presentations. That's not been boastful. They want to hear that, and I make the point, and this is where I wanted to go. And I succeeded in one aspect of the presentation. A budget is as much quantitative, that is as much about money, figures, and so on and so forth, as it is qualitative. Mm-hmm. What is the quality of life? What are the social issues in the society? And the contradiction is that when all this is going on, crime is at its highest.
Yes.
42 murders in a year compared to you next door to us in Grenada with 9. That's an issue.
Yes.
Victimization.
Yes.
Poverty, prostitution, unemployment, underemployment. The economy itself that needs fixing.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And those things were lost in the discussion and the debate.
Yeah, and it's
because
lost with
we narrowed ourselves down to
it's lost
this
with
issue of
it's lost with the general discussion, because even everyone now is talking about the shut up match rather than talking about food security or rather than talking about crime.
I have 2 Americans, my best friend and his wife, they're tiptoeing in here who I'm going to take for dinner, as I said to you. But I'm going to direct them down to my wife because they have that privilege that I have when I go to New York with them. Well, no, they're not Floridians. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So I mean, the people's business, I think people are very concerned about the business of the people. Again, you know, going in there and the back and forth, which it's happened in Parliament. Sometimes it's fun, but at some point in time, you get past that and you say, let's deal with the people's business. So we're looking forward, hopefully, that we don't have to, if we come to...
There's a lot of context that people have to understand about St. Vincent and the politics of today, though. Because the prime ministers all over the world receiving awards of one kind and or the other. But in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are a minority government.
Mm-hmm.
In the last elections, the New Democratic Party, for which I'm a vice president, received the popular vote of the people. We received more popular votes in the government, but they, with the constitutional system we have more constituencies. So it is not that all parties are an unpopular party.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we have to concentrate on the constitutional imperatives. And that's where we are going. But fundamentally, we have to try and make our Caribbean a better place for all of us to live.
Yes, yes.
That's a privilege we are given as politicians.
Yes. Going.
It's a privilege, and we must deliver.
I didn't hear what you say. Your audio just sounded a little bit muffled there. I didn't hear that last part.
I'm saying we are given a privilege.
Yes.
To make our people better. It's not about us.
Yes.
Exactly. And we hold that responsibility sacred.
Exactly.
And put the people's interests first.
Yes.
So let me, if I have to use a medium, apologize that I have to be seen in this bad light. And I'll find ways to restrain myself against all the provocation in the future, because there's a bigger issue than St.Clair Leacock.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, I know that you have about 5 more minutes with us because your time is very short. You have an engagement, and we thanks for just this short period of time that you took to come and share it with us. What's next? Going back into Parliament, are we going to see some kind of mutual apology or something that would ensure the country or the youth that you are on both sides, both the opposition and the administration is somehow moving closer to dealing with the problem affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Are anyone going to make any kind of apology? Is there any demand for an apology in St. Vincent from the constituents right now?
I can only speak to those things over which I have some control, and I can control my own response and my own behavior. I think that it's incumbent upon me to make our House of Assembly to be a place of example.
Right.
I think it's incumbent upon me to lend the best of my assistance in a mutual way.
Yes.
The Speaker of the House, that we can both represent the best of what has been censured. And I think, therefore, I will give an undertaking to the Speaker in that regard.
Right.
I can't hold my Prime Minister, as he is referred to, but who forced to identify himself as the world boss. When you have a person with a billboard and that nomenclature, it begins to tell you how a person sees about himself, that there's no one greater or better than himself. And therefore, he relegates all others to be subjects of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, certainly, I am not, nor are my colleagues, living on his plantation. And there are some things for which we have to make sure that our integrity stands up and shines. But we must have the balance. We must have that balance.
Yes.
And that is, we must not so advance ourselves on our own image and self-interest that our peoples, our constituents, and our nation is the worse for those exchanges. And that's my point of departure of any circumstances. Smalling up ourselves, as Jamaica would say, so that the moral issues that are at play is what, as you would like to say, shines.
Yeah. Listen, Major, we thank you so much. I know it's short. We did say we'll release you at 6:30 because you have a previous engagement. We thank you for the little time of explanation and to what's happening here. And hopefully the next time we could have Dr. Friday on and we could have a lengthy discussion on the way forward, putting things together and in the best interests of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Any last word before we wrap up?
Well, the issue are not unique and peculiar to St. Vincent. It's all across the Caribbean. Those of us who have had the privilege to have had a better level of education through our parents' and grandparents' investments know what we have to do. We need serious structural change.
Mm-hmm.
We need not to just make it mantra about putting people to be the center of our development, but we must seriously put our shoulders to wheel and ensure that in the privileged time that we have to be in the parliaments of our Caribbean countries, that we advance their cause, because it indeed is a privilege. That's my commitment.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, the Major.
Thank you very much, my brother, for the opportunity.
All right, great. No problem.
Thank you.
Guys, so we are again placing on record our call to the Prime Minister. We'd love to speak to the Prime Minister or anyone from the party. Listen, I think we should get kind of past this right now. The administration they explain, but what should happen right now is talking about the budget, how the representation and how they are working to represent the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? So we have made contact with folks from the government side, and we were asking them if they could afford us the time, half an hour, 45 minutes, to come and chat a little bit about it, because there are a lot of people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that's locked onto the program that could benefit from an interactive session on the platform where they could even call in and ask questions. All right. So this is your opportunity right now. We are going to open the phone lines because we couldn't do that when the Major was on, but we're going to do it right now. 718-701-5720. What's your thoughts on all of this, guys? All of this, what we call, I think, is distraction. What do you think about it? Was the Major wrong in his utterances, or was the Prime Minister wrong for his interruption and his utterances as well? And what next? Give us a call. Let's talk about it. 718-701-5720. Open up the phone lines. You could also call on WhatsApp, or you could call direct. 718-701-5720 is my number. Call in right now. For those of you who was asking to open up the phone lines. Samantha, how are you doing? For those of you who was asking to open up the phone lines earlier, we couldn't do it again because we was occupying the WhatsApp phone line simply because we was having problems with connecting him to the live. All right. All right. Dale saying all of them too rude. Yes, Rowan, if you could make it happen for us, because in fact we do have a contact number for the Prime Minister's office. We did put in a request, and we'd love to have Prime Minister Gonsalves on the program. If anyone in his quarters is watching, we very happy to have anyone from the administration on that wants to come on and speak with us. We'll be more than delighted to do so. All right, 718-701-5720, guys. And as I told you earlier, we had to cut the program, his interview, short today because he did have made us aware that he had a previous engagement and he had to have a dead cutoff at 6:30, right? He had to have a dead cutoff at 6:30 because he had to leave. So that's why we had to cut that part of it at that time. But we're still here and we're taking your calls. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what your thoughts are. Not who was right and who was wrong. Who needed to be the bigger person in this conversation right here? What needs to happen now? And for you, for the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what's your concern? What's affecting you most? What would you like to see? And how do you feel about this back and forth? I mean, there's memes all over the place. I mean, I even did my part too as well. So, but there's all sorts of conversation. And the conversation is not about building, nation building. The conversation is about shut up and who telling this one shut up all over social media. That's the conversation right now. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, let me know your thoughts on what's happening right now. In the meantime, I want to play back this part a little more extensively. The long form version of the major response. Check out this piece again. We'll play back into about 4 minutes into it. Check it out.
I don't understand that myself, but I give him the benefit of the doubt. You see, Madam Speaker, what that statement reveals is that the government finds themselves in a veritable bind. They find themselves, Madam Speaker, between the devil and talk about the devil. His imps appear. I think that's how the expression goes. Madam Speaker,
I raise on a point of order. In fact, I'm asking my honorable friend to withdraw the remark that I'm a devil. He knows that what he has done there is he has crossed the line. He said, the devil has just arrived. I'm the one who has just arrived. Come on.
Never said that.
He's just arrived. No. Madam Speaker, you heard what I heard. You heard what I heard, Madam Speaker. You heard what I heard. Expression what? You shut your mouth. You're not in this.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. And I've stopped your time. Honorable members, I'm going to remind members, as I've been doing, I feel as if it's been all day, to be very cautious of the parliamentary language. And this is a caution again for all members. For all members.
Madam Speaker, but he did call me devil.
Honorable member.
He did call me devil. And I'm not yielding the point. He did call me devil. It doesn't matter how they twist and turn. That is what he said. Shut your mouth now, I'm on my feet.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. I have to rule. Just a moment, honorable members. Honorable member, the allegation or the point, the substance of the point of order is that you call the Prime Minister devil, and the question is that you withdraw the reference. Is there a response to that, honorable member, before I make my ruling?
Madam Speaker, even though I may be provoked, even if the honorable Prime Minister looks or thinks, I would not call him the devil. I was in fact making a statement, making a comparison, the devil, and he came in and finished the statement, the deep blue sea. You see, he joined the conversation.
Okay, so we're back, and we are continuing the conversation here. Where we saw video that's circulating on social media. Got a call on the line. Caller, Eli, where are you calling us from?
Good evening. I'm calling from St. Vincent.
Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very well. How about yourself?
Great.
Well, I just want to give my thoughts on what took place in Parliament recently.
Yes.
Right. And when I looked at that recording, and I've looked at, more than one to get some perspective on it, and then you would have just had Major on a while ago. And from my perspective, I would have realized that the Prime Minister did indeed interrupted the Minister of Parliament.
Yes.
And in his statement, there's no way that he could say that Major was directly calling him the devil. Because the statement was being made like people use idioms and metaphorical statements. Speak of the devil and the devil shows up, as him shows up. Is not the same as saying that you are the devil. So that was one of the problems. The second problem I see coming from it is that I see the Prime Minister extremely trying his best to not only convince the House, but convince the Speaker of the House to rule accordingly. But if you look at that recording, you will realize that the Speaker of the House, although she did not want to, let me say, ask the PM to sit down and to rule that he's wrong, she did not tell the Minister of Parliament that he was wrong.
Right. So in ways, you think that she still ruled against the PM?
Precisely, without having used the words, Prime Minister, you are wrong, or such and such is the case.
Right.
If you listen to the whole recording, he put her in a very uncomfortable position, because when he's asking her, he said that I'm the devil. She, in the whole preamble between him, she said that when the other minister stood up, the other, I think was Stevenson, one of them stood up to speak, and the Prime Minister would have told the other minister to shut his mouth, and so forth. When they were making the appeal to the Speaker of the House to make her to give her side of it, she said in it that she is satisfied with what was said during the crosstalk.
Yes.
She further go on to say, I did not hear it myself.
Yes.
And she wants to make a ruling. So that presents a contradiction, because she wants to make a ruling. She's saying that she's satisfied with what was said in the crosstalk, but then said later on that she didn't hear herself. So how could she make a ruling on something she didn't hear herself?
True.
So it put her in a very uncomfortable, and then she went on to say, she ruled and said, listen, it's very unfair to what is being done to the minister, because he's been interrupted. So what I see that as is a distraction, and I'll tell you why I conclude it's a distraction. Let's ask this question. The question that Minister Leacock raised, was it answered?
Which one of the questions?
When he was asking in response to he wants some clarity and something that the minister presented.
The Minister of Health. Okay.
Health.
Right.
So then he stood, and that was what he was trying to gain clarity on.
Yes.
Which is when he was interrupted. So that question was never really answered.
It was never answered. Yes, you're right.
So I think then, in my opinion, from my perspective, it appears then that was a strategic move to distract and throw off the House, knowing fully well, because the Prime Minister is a smart, the Prime Minister is not somebody stupid. He's not ignorant. I should say he's not, as we will say, dotation or plan. How could he interpret what we'll call an idiom or a metaphorical speech as something literal? So he's not that
Are you
not that uneducated?
Are you thinking that the Prime Minister didn't want that question to be answered?
That is precisely my conclusion. Because if he wanted it answered, there wouldn't be a need
Right.
to create such unnecessary distraction.
Right.
And then if he wanted it answered, if after all of that, there was never a comeback to say, well, okay, this is what the major was asking clarity on, such and such. And the minister never get to speak again in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Did he? So that will have to go down in history as a distraction.
Mm-hmm. How is the
So that is my
how is the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines feeling about this right now on the ground? What are people saying about this?
well, people like me who look on and I would speak. You know, I'm a teacher and I speak with other folks. Initially, it comes off as first, okay, it's another back and forth in the house.
Right.
You think of the disrespect at the level of the highest people in the island. And now, like I'm saying, a teacher, right?
You're right, yeah.
And we are taught in Teachers College and at the teachers level, when we're teaching students, we have to teach them life skills, how to resolve issues, how not to chat back and cuss back and fight, you know.
Right.
So when you display this level of indecency in the Honorable House of Parliament, where, and with technology now, you can't hide these things.
True, everybody
sees it.
Yeah.
The students are aware of it. They are seeing it. How am I now going to tell them as matter role models? And you would have heard the speaker in the house actually said herself that, remember, children are looking, are they listening? They are seeing what's going on.
Yes. Yes.
So the people who are supposed to be the leaders, are supposed to be people showing the respect, were displaying a level of disrespect that is unbecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And it is sad that we have to say it is sad that it actually instigated by the Prime Minister.
Right.
Because he used words, even though he wanted to have the speaker.
But Major still said, shut your blasted mouth. Those are words that we taught in school not to use. Those are like curse words in the Caribbean.
Exactly, and I'm getting to that.
Mm-hmm.
When he said that, if he wanted to say, be quiet, something, he could use his words differently.
Yes.
Because his words initiated a retaliation from Major.
Yes. Yeah.
Naturally, which he knew will happen because he's not speaking to Friday.
Right.
So it appears to me then, for instance, it's like, if you trouble a honeybee-nest, you're going to raise a new.
Yes.
So that is what you call instigation. You know what kind of response you're going to get.
Yeah.
So you look for it and you create a problem because you don't want a problem outcome. That is the state of that thing. Now, if you listen to me well, I'm not saying that Leacock is right. But I am saying, if you know who he is and you know who you're dealing with, you will know how to tread. Because if we take the good book of Proverbs, it's a soft answer, turn it away, wrath. So if we take the opposite of that, if you aggravate a man and he responds, right, you then put yourself in a position to get the response you get. If you respond differently, well, praise the Lord. Thank you for that. But if you get the response you're looking for.
I think both men, understanding, they've been in politics for a while. They all represent a couple thousand people. They understand this thing so well. They know cameras are on them. I mean,
exactly.
I'm saying, couldn't one of them be the bigger person and just stop? Because if you watch even the shouting match, they were just going at it. There was no stopping.
At each other. Correct. And when one of someone would have made a piece on Facebook, and I would have said thank you, because I think that should have never gone on like that. Because when the Prime Minister make a statement about shut up, then Major responded, shut your, and he uses words, as
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah.
we were considered as cuss words.
Yeah.
We don't allow to use those words. So it was used straight across in Parliament by 2 ministers of Parliament in front of the whole country, and it's a level of disrespect.
Yeah. Yeah. And bigger than that,
I mean, some people,
not even the whole country, the whole world.
the
Everyone
whole
is
world.
watching.
That
Everyone
is
is watching.
that whole world.
Yeah.
So what has happened now because of the outburst, right? Many people made memes of it, and it has become a somewhat of a joke.
Yeah.
It is then sending a message that disrespect can be seen as a joke.
Yeah. True. True. How do you think
that is
you being on the ground in St. Vincent, how do you repair that? Like if you walked into a room, because you're a school teacher, and
right,
you hear this type of language coming from your students in class back and forth, how do you then handle it?
In a case like that, both student has to apologize. And it wouldn't be a matter of now who is wrong and who is right, because we can't fix that anymore. We can't do anything about who caused it and who responded. That was already done and gone. What we do now is correct it by being apologetic. And yes, I get angry and I retaliated. Yes, I say what I had to say. It is disrespect, and both of them need to apologize. And the thing is, because you don't have to always apologize because you're wrong, but because of your representation and the office you hold.
Right.
For instance, I remember when we had that thing with the other minister there, Fitz, when we had the case of, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, where they have the circulation of where he was piercing his nipple. And that was something that was done in the privacy of his life. He has a right to do that as a private individual, right?
Right, yeah.
And in the process, because the video leaked, he had used some swear words, some obscene languages. And he come out and apologized. Now, I understood what he did, and it was a level of respect. He didn't have to apologize because he don't have a private life. He can't people say, his private life. Yes, it's his private life, but he was a public office.
Yeah, true. Lydia make a very important point here, and it goes back by the question of leading by example. Now, the student might say, well, look, the Prime Minister said that he didn't have to apologize, or he didn't apologize, or publicly.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. And then what if, Lydia's saying, what if someone walked up to a police officer and said, shut the F, not F, because that's a curse word, shut your blasted mouth. If someone were to say that to a policeman, the person could most likely get arrested, right? But then he comes back again,
yes,
but the leaders could do it. Look at them.
There we go. So it must stop there, and they should apologize publicly, not for the sake of whatever they want to have personally, but for the sake of the public office.
Yes.
And what it portrays to the towards public, the children, the students, and all of that.
Yeah. True, absolutely. Listen, I thank you for sharing your views with us here on this matter right here. Hopefully, when the Prime Minister come back on, or we have Minister of Government in St. Vincent come back on, we're speaking about uplifting things, things that would move St. Vincent and the Grenadines forward in terms of agriculture, agro-processing, all these different things. We could have this discussion here. I'm not talking about who's shouting, shut up at who. Because I think we need to get past that discussion, and the leaders and them have to set the tone of the conversation. But thank you, caller. We appreciate it.
They have to set the tone of the conversation. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Thanks so much.
Anytime. Bye-bye.
718-701-5720, guys. You could call in right now, make your contribution if you want to speak about what you saw in this particular context and what has been happening and this whole conversation. Let me tell you, I'm not innocent, by the way. I'm not innocent by any stroke of the imagination. I went in too because I thought it was funny, and I wanted the Prime Minister and everyone involved to see this. So I too did a parody.
Something wrong with you,
No, but no, just a minute.
Something really wrong with you.
May I rise?
In the Most jail
Why don't you
away.
shut up and
You
stop
shut
insulting
Ralph's
people?
mouth too.
Shut up and stop
Honorable
insulting
Ralph,
people.
shut up.
No,
Shut
no.
up, Ralph.
Honorable members.
You're just being ignorant and
I
stupid.
am on my
Ralph,
feet.
nobody can be more
Every-
stupid than you.
Honorable members.
Talk to him.
Honorable members, please take your seats.
I guess after they see themselves, that was my plan, by the way. I wanted them to see themselves. Like, you know, like you look in the mirror, see yourself. Hopefully they'll be like, damn, that was really me. I really acted like that. Yeah. Let's have big discussion about big things, especially for the people in parliament. You are elected by the people to represent them. Let us work for the people. Let's have some civil debates because listen, the kids are watching. Everyone watching. The world is watching, right? Let's elevate the conversation. Again, guys, we have 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes if you want to call in, make a contribution on it. 718-701-5720. Shut the hell up. Shut your mouth. Hey, Lynn made me do it, huh? Lynn made me do it. Lynn made me do it. Lynn made me do it. Okay? Lois JJ made me do it. It's not me. It's Lynn. Lynn made me do it. Lynn made me do it. Lois made me do it, guys. All right? So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our programming today. Got a couple notices, things to tell you about. Thing number one, guys, our big money bingo. $1,500 bingo. And that goes down on the 29th. Win $1,500 bingo. Right? Tickets only $5. And you can get those tickets right now at rydebuy.com. That's RYDE. Let me put it in there. RYDEBUY.com. Boom. Right there. Go to rydebuy.com and get your tickets. Tickets are only $5, ladies and gentlemen. Only $5 to get your tickets right now. Remember, $5 could get you $1,500, just like that. It was a virtual bingo, so you could play from anywhere in the world. All right, so get your tickets now. Get your tickets now at rydebuy.com. Also, I keep telling all you about this. I keep telling you see that ride-along trip to Dubai, that big ride-along trip to Dubai, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. Go to ryderstravel.com right now, guys, and check it out. This is a trip of a lifetime. Now, in terms of payment, guys, you have 6-7 months to pay that off. Go in right now and register to be a part of our Ryders trip, ride along to Dubai trip. It simply will be amazing. Get it right now, ryderstravel.com. Book, or you could put on as low as $500 and you're on your way to Dubai. And that's in October, but you need to confirm now. You need to confirm today, all right? Guys, this is coming soon. Official launch will be on February 1st. Ryders Radio HD, 24 hours of music, entertainment, and a whole lot more. It's non-stop. Ryders Radio. So rydersradio.com coming to you on February 1st. Ride or Die brunch. It's a big brunch. 4 drinks celebration of Grenada's independence. Oil down, pilau, real vibes, local juices, lambi waters, and a whole lot more. Tickets for this officially go on sale on Wednesday. Yeah, big brunch. And of course, we got to tell you about this.
Grenada is on the road to 50, but this year we celebrate 49. Under the patronage of the Consular Office of Grenada in New York, the Grenada Independence Anniversary Committee New York invites you to celebrate Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence, January 27th to February 4th.
Happy birthday. birthday, my dear Grenada.
Our theme this year is the journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning the future. We shall be graced with the presence of Grenada's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export, Honorable Joseph Andel, Minister of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Honorable Andy Williams, and Member of Parliament of Her Majesty's Opposition, Honorable Delma Thomas. The calendar of events rolls off on Friday, January 27 with a cultural evening from 7 p.m. at Our Lady of Refuge Hall in Brooklyn. Then Saturday, January 28 is the Independence Youth Fest from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. again at Our Lady of Refuge Hall in Brooklyn. The ecumenical service is on Sunday, January 29th from 4 p.m. at St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church on Hawthorne Street. The 49th anniversary of Independence Gala, dinner, dance and awards will come off on Saturday, February 4th from 9 p.m. at the Anthems in Queens. It's all about Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence. The journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning the future.
Carpentry and Cleaning Service Inc., providing exceptional carpet and cleaning, floor installation, refinishing, home renovations, drywall, painting, plastering, doors and moldings, electrical and plumbing, and much more. We are a one-stop shop for all your professional needs. Give us a call today on 718-221-5572. That is 718-221-5572. Or you can call our cell on 917-939-3192. Check out our sales on all services. We're located at 218 Schenectady Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Phillips Carpentry and Cleaning Service Inc.
Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for being a part of our programming. Today, we'll catch you guys again tomorrow right here on The Ride. Peace out. Have a good night.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Established in 1998, Ross Roden Funeral Services continues to assist you plan the ideal funeral or memorial service locally or internationally. Our reputation is built on providing personalized funeral services based on love and compassion. Call Ross Roden Funeral Services at 718-547-0640.
Ross Roden Funeral Services, where your loved one is our loved one.